happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning, the same thing that happens to everything else.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you my new and improved Lightning Nado Swarmblade. This is a build that I made for 084 and it's time for an update. As always, I'm going to show you every single facet of the build. Everything is timestamped in the description below. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now the skills I'm using for this build are Maelstrom, Tornado, Summon Spriggan, Swarmblade form, and Serpent Strike. And it is a really interesting build because our Swarmblade technically doesn't do any damage, our Maelstrom doesn't do any damage, and Tornado, you guessed it, doesn't do any damage. On top of that, our Locust doesn't do any damage. So how is it right now? We are cruising through level 197 corruption inside of Empowered with said modifiers on the right hand side. That is because of inside of Maelstrom and inside of Tornado, there is two different sub skills. And what that means is that your Maelstrom is going to cast lightning strikes and your tornadoes are going to cast lightning strikes. And your Swarmblade is going to orchestrate all of that. So you are going to be a very fast, very strong, almost guaranteed critting bug. And I can tell you that I streamed this for now an entire week, and I streamed it for over 7 hours yesterday if you want to see more gameplay. That was the day where we decided it's time to push a little corruption up, so we took it from 100 to 197, and it feels really, really good. It is quick, very easy on the wrists if you are one of those people that don't like clicking over and over again, and it is just a blast to play. This new and improved Lightning Nado Swarmblade is so much better. That run was really fast. Let's do another one. And we're off. Now, every time you use dive, you're going to get 4 stacks of Maelstrom. So you want to try and keep it as 8 for as long as you can. And just remember to always use it whenever the cooldown is up. That way you're casting more Maelstrom. You're going to be stunning enemies. You are going to be casting lightning bolts. You're going to be hitting faster, and you're going to have better movement speed. Now, I wish this build, or at least the gear I was wearing right now, did have +2 Maelstrom on it. Just didn't find anything good that actually had that affix. It is on your chest. So hopefully you have something better than me, and you're going to be able to push this build much, much further. But I will say, just last night playing, we went from Corruption 100 to Corruption 197, and it was honestly no problem. Like, as you could see, we are literally walking through this content. So let's fight a Shade of Oribus. Shade of Oribus. Let's go. Come on, jump out.
An eternity of pain. Unchallenged weaponry.
See if we get a space tank this. Dude, there's so much on the screen I could barely see the shade. Quarter life gone. Just pushing him around. Yes, yes. Got a feeling we're gonna do okay in this fight. And we're almost at kill threshold. Good old Shade of Oribus, sir. You are dead. Let me show you how to recreate this build. So now let's check out the skills for this Lightning Nado Swarmblade. And when I go through this, I'm going to show you the order in which I take the points. So follow along. Starting off with Maelstrom. Now this skill does a lot for the build. Gives you Frenzy, gives you Haste, gives you a little bit of dodge, gives you damage with Lightning Bolt, and helps you with survivability because you're stunning enemies. Does a lot, very important skill. You want 2 into Whirlpool, 2 into Sleet-Footed, 1 into Power of the Storm, 3 into Strong Tides, 3 into Energized, So once you have this tree, then you want to go up, 1 into Turbulence, 2 into Calm, 1 into Windswept, 1 into Wind Fury. Then you want to come down. This is Cyclone, turns it into a physical skill, and then 3 into Essence of Debris. Now, I wish I had more points into Maelstrom. The first point I would take would be right here, Essence of Debris. And then I would put additional points right here into Whirlpool so you don't lose your charges as fast. Okay. Moving on to Serpent Strike. Serpent Strike, again, doesn't do any damage, but it does do a lot of useful things. You want 3 points into Culling Point. This is going to give you your kill threshold. 3 into Slither, 2 into Spear, 3 into Hydra Strikes, 4 into Venom. Then come left, 1 into Fury, 3 into Cold Fang, and 1 into Shroud of Winter. Now, Shroud of Winter and Slither are going to give you a little bit of dodge rating. You're going to get some attack speed boost, and you're going to get some armor shred again with that kill threshold. All right, moving over to Tornado, our main damage dealer. You want to go directly up first. You want 1 point into Charged Storm, 4 into Frequent Lightning, 4 into Overcast Skies. Then you want to come right, and you want 1 into Aspect of the Storm and 3 into Storm Dervish. Then you want to come left, 4 into Lasting Storm, and then your last 3 points right here into Gust of Renewal. And remember that Maelstrom has its own sub skill tooltip, Lightning, and then also Tornado has Lightning as well. This scales with lightning damage, spell damage, area, and attunement. That is how you scale your damage. Moving on to Swarmblade Form. What you want to do is go up first. And again, this is another skill where I wish I had more points. You want 1 into Viper's Call. This is what gives you Serpent Strike. 2 into Endless Pressure. 1 into Wind Fury Strikes. This gives you Tornado. And 2 into Army of Tempest. Then you want to come down, 2 into Locust Agility. 4 into Water Strider. This is how you cast your Maelstrom. Then you want to come here, 1 into Earth Stinger, 5 into Needle-like Sting. This is how you get your almost guaranteed crit. And then 2 into Grasshopper's Frenzy. This is how you are going to stay in bug form pretty much all the time. Last but not least, your companion summon Spriggan. You want to go down first. You want 3 into Aura of Life, 3 into Aura of Kinship, and 4 into Aura Retribution. This is going to give you crit avoidance, base crit, and added spell damage. Literally, this companion is so good. You then want 1 into Aura of Loyalty, 1 into Aura of Invasion, and then you come up and give it as much survivability as possible. 5 into Vitality, and 3 into Bark. Those are the skills. Moving on to the passives, and right now I am level 94. Moving on to the passives, right now I am level 94. In the base Primalist tree, you want 20 points. 8 into Natural Attunement, 1 into Harmony of Blades. This is what gives you the ability to dual wield. 5 into Hunter's Restoration, and 6 into Wisdom of the Wild. Nothing else in the base tree. Minimum you could have is 20, and that is what we have is 20. You then want to come over to Shaman and grab these 5 points into Shamanistic Infusion. This is going to unlock Tornado for you, okay? Now, if you are leveling this character, I would go Druid first. If you are transferring a character that is already leveled, I guess it really doesn't matter. But Beastmaster is going to give you your survivability. So, you know, if you're pushing Corruption, if you're getting into endgame, you're going to need Beastmaster, but early on, it really doesn't matter. So we're going to start with Druid. You want 7 into Plating, 7 into Warden, and 7 into Resonance. Then you want 7 into Druistic Prowess, 2 into Focused Wrath, 5 into Wind in the Leaves, 3 into Brush Stalker, 1 into Woodland Beings, 1 into Natural Duality. This is going to allow you to only have 1 companion, but again, we're trying to keep our companions alive. So it's going to give 75% more health to the companion. Then you want 8 into Rage Born. This is going to help you with your crit chance further because you have all that base from your skills and you're going to generate Rage again. Then you have 10 into Hideskin. It's going to give you a lot of life and Endurance Threshold. And then right now what I am leveling is Impervious because again, since we're dual wielding, I'm not using a shield. I just want to make us a little extra tanky. Then over in Beastmaster, we're going to focus on Aspect of the Boar and damage reduction. So 8 points into Yersin Strength, 4 into Boar Heart, 3 into Call of the Pack, little added life for yourself and your companion. and then 5 into Porcupine Constitution. And then if you are level 100, check out the advanced build planner, because in there it'll show where I would allocate the rest of the points. Moving over to everyone's favorite gear, starting with idols. And like I just said, if you want to see true end game, something to shoot for, check out the advanced build planner. I wish I had the gear in there. Now, looking at idols, all of these middle idols in here are just life, little bit of crit, and filling out my resistances. So don't really look at those. What you really want to find is increased spell damage while transformed. That is what I am using on this build right now. Again, check out the advanced build planner for the exact idols you want to look at. Now, when you're looking at the gear for this Lightning Nado Swarmblade, currently there is nothing required. So it's not like you have to go get a Stormcarved Testament. Obviously, we're doing lightning damage, so this does a lot for us. But I'm going to take you through each item one by one. Helmet, spell damage while transformed. Amulet, critical strike multiplier, lightning damage. Sword, spell damage and attack speed. Armor, spell damage, attunement, life, and this base will give you base spell damage as well. Scepter, base spell damage or lightning damage with spell. Ring, spell lightning. Belt, lightning, life. Attunement, this ring's horrible. Stormcarved Testament. Boots, vitality, hybrid health. Gloves, melee attack speed, attunement, armor shred, and hybrid health. I love these pair of gloves. That is the gear I'm wearing. Now let's check out the stats for our Lightning Swarmblade. Right now I'm level 94. I've got 18 points into strength, 59 into attunement, and 26 into vitality. Movement speed is at, yes, 52%. When you're looking at resistances, almost all of them are max. We just got to do a little bit on necrotic and we will be there. Armor's okay. We're at 24%. We are over 1,000. Now dodge is at 320, only 10%. But know when you are in combat, when you use dive and you create Maelstrom, your dodge is always going to be fluctuating and going higher. So your dodge is always going to be moving up and down. When you're looking at critical strike chance for spell, right now it is 65%. So 2 out of 3 hits are always going to be crit. And what you really want to stack is as much critical strike multiplier as possible. Looking at defenses, check this out. Endurance right at 60%. Endurance threshold 1,054 and critical strike avoidance 137. So you have tons of survivability. And right now we have almost 3,300 life. So you really can push this build. Now, as you probably noticed, I have added a sustain category to all of my builds. I get asked all the time, how do I push corruption? How do I stay alive? And like I just broke down in the stats category, you have a little bit of dodge, you got a little bit of armor, you've got resistances, you've got endurance, endurance threshold, crit avoidance, and inside of your passive tree, you have aspect of the boar, which is going to give you tons of damage reduction. So you aren't going to get one shot really with this build, especially with 3,300 life as you progress through the game. That being said, you still need to have a way to generate life when you do take damage. And there are 2 ways to sustain this character's life. First one is inside of the passive tree under Druid and is right here under Stalker. Health leech on crit 4%. Again, 2 of 3 hits are going to be crit, and you're going to be getting 4% of your life back on all of those crits. Second way to sustain your life is inside of your blessings, and it is going to be right here, Grand Hunger of the Void. 4.7% of spell damaged leech as health. So that means all the time those lightning bolts are hitting, because they are spell damage, you are going to be getting that back in life. And a lot of times, the reason why I'm able to face tank the Shade of Oribus is because my life is going down, but it's generating so fast based upon that sustain that I have. And that blessing is right here in the Black Sun. Spell damage leached as health. You could use those 2 as sustain. Last but not least, let's talk about leveling up your Lightning Nado Swarmblade. There are 3 skills that you want to grab. Okay, the first skill you want is Swipe. This is the main leveling skill for any Primalist. And what you want to take are these right here. These 12 nodes, starting with culling. you'd put 2 points into Way of the Hunt, 1 point into Reach, and then 2 points into Culling. And then you would literally just level these up. This is going to give you hit damage, leech, area damage, and kill threshold. Okay. So swipe is your first skill that you will put here. The second skill that you want is War Cry, because this is going to make your swipe stronger. And you want to come up and take Deep Roar and Battle Cry. So 2 into here, 4 into Battle Cry. Then you want to come down into here and grab the Berserk nodes. This is going to make you stronger and attack faster. Now, the third skill isn't as important. Really, you can get through the entire campaign with just Swipe and just War Cry. Now, normally what I take is Fury Leap because you want to have some form of a movement skill. And I go up first and I grab this node, reset Fury Leap on short leap. So reset cooldown. And then I come down here and put 4 points into Panther Strike, which is going to further give you cooldown so that you can leap all over the place quicker. Those 3 skills will carry you through the campaign. And I feel like for this build, around level 50 or 60, depending on your gear, you can start actually switching in to your Lightning Tornado Swarmblade. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. What do you think of my new and improved Lightning Tornado Swarmblade? Is there something I missed? Is there something that I could do to take this to the next level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of this video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. Hoping today is the day, yeah, make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 59 members that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. Weekly blog posts, weekly podcast, access to the VIP lounge so you can chit chat with me every day. Chance to win custom merch. You get a special title. You could stream with me. Lots of goodies inside of the VIP. And of course, it supports me financially. That's all I've got. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.